Let's see. What do you want to know? Just,
So what's your name?
Rafi.
Nice to meet
Name's
you.
Rafi. Nice to meet you.
So where got this car?
So you got a 1967 Shelby Mustang GT350, fully restored. We bought a few years ago. It took a couple years to restore, but turned out all right. It's in Brittany blue color, the original factory Brittany blue.
Cool. I noticed there's a signature over there.
Oh yeah.
Beside the
So
car.
yeah, that's a original signature from Carroll Shelby.
Wow.
That we got. We met him at a show one day, which was really cool, and had to have his autograph. And a lot of guys who have Shelbys, you know, that's their goal, is to not just get a Shelby. You got to get Carroll Shelby's autograph. And 9 times out of 10, people will get the dashboard signed, like I did. Sometimes some guys will have the underside of the hood.
Mm-hmm.
When you open the hood, underneath the hood, he signs underneath of the hood, you know, which is really cool too. But I wanted mine on the. So this car again, we took it all the way down to every nut and bolt, full restoration. But we tried it when we took the car apart. We tried to keep everything, every part, and just restore the part instead of just buy brand new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, although they do sell everything brand new for these cars, restored, you know, restoration parts, we tried to keep the original parts. Like the steering wheel is original. We just had it cleaned up and restored. Yeah, restored. It was the original. Didn't look like this. You know, it was a little worse shape. But you can, you know, there are people out there that will restore just this. We had the speedometers. We took the speedometer out and ascended away, and they cleaned it up, did all the numbers real nice, new paint, so it looks like it's brand new. But it's the original one. I didn't just throw it away and put a new one. I could have bought a new one, but I wanted the original one that came with the car. And that's a part of restoring cars is, you know, using the original parts, just cleaning them up rather than just throw it away and buy a new part. So we kept about 95% of this car is all original. Some parts were broken that we had to just, you know, buy new, but most of it is the original from the factory. So I mean, you could tell from the mirror, see the mirror how it's kind of got some you know, it's damaged a little bit, water damage, you know. I left it because that's the original one. I don't care.
Yeah.
It looks better that way, I think.
You're right.
So, you know, it's not 100% perfect, but, you know, stuff like this, maybe it's 99% is good enough.
Yeah.
You know, I like
a
little bit original, you know. So
everything here you keep original. You just put it to like a chrome it and
all cleaned up. You know, it takes, you know, restoring cars in that restoring car hobby. Yeah, you know, is time consuming and it is expensive. Yeah, costs a lot of money.
Yeah, you do put a lot of money on this hobby.
A lot of money, a lot of time, but the reward is, you know, a beautiful car. You know, you end up with a very, very nice car, and it's almost a sense of accomplishment. You know, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of money, but look what I did. You know, it's and now I'm enjoying it with my son, and
I think this is more like a heart-touching part for me. Like some American told me that they gotta build one car with their son, like use a couple years. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's better than just leave the young generation watch the video.
Well, you know, it's. I grew up with these cars. When I was going to school, these cars were always around. You know, they weren't classic cars yet. You know, maybe that's because I'm older. But my son, who's younger now, you know, the younger generation, you know, they kind of lost the love for classic cars. You know, so what I try to do is, because I love these cars and working on engines and transmissions and stuff like that, I got him into it. So he now loves these cars too. So I got another generation that appreciates classic cars, you know, and that whole culture. So it's, you know, it's passing on that love of cars to the next generation, you know. So he's getting his feet wet, so to say. He's getting his feet wet, and he does help me with. I got another couple projects that I'm doing right now, and he's kind of helping me with getting his hands. He actually worked. He was a lot younger, but he actually worked on this car too. He did a few things. You know, of course, I watched him do it, but I wanted him to get involved for two things. One, it gives him a passion to work on cars, which I love, and two, it keeps him out of trouble. You know,
right.
I know where he is. You know?
Yeah, it's better than gun trouble than drug trouble.
My wife knows. Instead of my wife knows exactly where he is because he's at the shop with me working on the car and not out driving around getting in trouble. So, so that's why he drives. He loves driving the cars. He loves showing them off. He loves showing his hard work because he does have time invested in the car, just like I do.
Young generation, they crazy love about the speed, the performance.
Yeah,
they do the underground speed of street racing.
You know, and that's okay. There are guys who are into that kind of stuff. You know, and I was just talking about that with one of the other guys here. You know, because there's all different kinds of cars here.
Yep.
There's old 60s cars. There's Lexuses. There's, you know, Datsuns, and there's a guy who loved Datsuns, 280Zs, 240Zs. You know, so there's guys who love all different kinds of cars, and it really doesn't matter as long as you love cars. You know, there's guys who are always into something. There's, like you said, the guys, the Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
You know, those guys like to do burnouts, and that's that's okay as long as you do it safe, but you're into cars. You know, that's okay. Me, that doesn't. I'm not into.
Yeah,
those
what do you think about like the Alex Roy? He had a world record, like a cannonball from New York.
New York to
California.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I believe most of the time when he's driving, he's overspeed.
Yeah.
He's speeding that time, I believe. But what about like a regular American car guy? Think about Alex Roy.
You know,
You guys think he's a hero or he's a bad guy?
Yeah, no, he's I don't know.
It's very hard to say.
Yeah. You know, for me, as long as you're into cars, it doesn't matter what you're into. As long as you're doing it safe, you're doing it fun. You know, even the guys who do the burnouts and the Fast and Furious guys, they drive. If you're driving it somewhere like that, because some cars, those guys, they set up those cars for that type of driving. If you do it in a safe area and in a controlled area, that's fine. You know, go do your thing, go have fun with your car. You know, but if you're going to do it around the streets and cause trouble, maybe cause an accident, you know, that's not cool. You know, that's then you give the car culture a bad name.
It's kind of there's the rules that everybody have followed these rules. You can enjoy a car, but you have to keep it safe.
Keep it safe, right? And there are guys that the police department here, they chase all the time because they do street racing in the middle of the night. You know, they wait till everybody's gone and they'll go up and down the streets. They all come together, you know, like 50, 60 cars, and they'll just start going, you know, and that causes trouble. So, but if you set it up with the police department first, going, hey man, you know, can we take a street and, you know, maybe somewhere in the middle of the night that nobody's, you know, can we do it? You know, that kind of thing. Then okay, if you do it the right way, it's fun. But if you just show up and you do it and you cause a lot of trouble like that, then it just gives the car culture, the people who are doing it right, a bad name, and that's bad. You don't want that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, but here in Southern California, you know, like I said, the Southern California, the car culture in Southern California is really where it's at because of the weather.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and a lot of it started because we're so close to Hollywood. A lot of celebrities back in the day, like the 50s, 60s, a lot of the celebrities had the money to buy these cars, and they would drive them around. So there's a lot of classic cars here in Southern California, you know, partly to do because of, you know, Hollywood, partly to do because of the weather, you know, and there's a lot of wealthy people here that bought these cars, you know, so that's why there's so many here.
Yeah.
You know, they're all over the place.